Hi everybody. Kind of hard to believe that it's August already. Doing about a once a month video, it looks like. A lot of things have been going on. As far as the exercise and diet program, it's been not too good. I mean, I've been trying to eat pretty reasonably. One of the problems I have with that is my smoking habit. You know, I quit, I start, I quit, I start, I quit, I start, I quit, I start. You know, this is tough. I've given up a lot of things. In my misspent youth, I took a lot of drugs and, you know, quit that when I finally got some sense into me. Didn't really have a lot of problems with that. Never had problems with alcohol. I don't really care for it that much. But smoking, I don't know, man. That's a booger to try to get rid of. I have to use patches, nicotine patches, and I know that's kind of weird because any other type of addiction that you want to get over, you quit using the drug. You should quit using nicotine, and that is probably the best way to quit smoking. But unfortunately, when I did go through that phase, I'm rather hard to live with. It's rather hard for me to focus and concentrate, so it's pretty much impossible for me to do the job that I do. So I kind of have to have at least a trickle of nicotine to get through some of the more psychological addictions that go along with smoking. And that's the other problem. I mean, what do I do instead of smoke? I can't exercise all day long. That's actually usually a pretty good way of getting rid of the urge to smoke is to exercise. Excuse me. Also, eating's a good way to do that. You know, oral fixation. Actually, I want to burp very badly. I just got through drinking a pop, a diet pop. It's still a pop. I don't want to be gross on YouTube. Not particularly this time. Anyway, eating, you know, that works for a while, but I can't eat all day long. I mean, you know, then I'll just get fat as a hog. So one of the things I wanted to do is have something to chew on, maybe like a straw or something. But and I thought of cinnamon toothpicks. You know, I remember back when I was a kid having cinnamon toothpicks, and that'd be perfect. A guy at work used them to help him quit smoking, and he loaned me one the other day, and I put one in my mouth, and I didn't have the urge to put a cigarette in there for hours. So I thought that this would be something that would really work. The problem is those little cinnamon toothpicks that they make when you're a kid, they don't make them anymore. I mean, you can go on the internet and buy them off web pages and, you know, pay about 30 or 40 bucks for that and the shipping. I didn't want to do that because I'm cheap. So I thought, well, I'll make me some. I mean, you know, when I was a kid, we used to make it. You get some cinnamon oil, you soak the toothpicks in them for a few hours, and, you know, great. So I went off to try to find some. I couldn't. They don't. I know they make it. Once again, I can buy it on the internet for something like $60 for a little tiny bottle of it. You know, go to the grocery store and they'll sell that. Go to a pharmacy. That's where I used to buy it when I was a kid. They sold it under the counter. I guess I don't know why. One pharmacist told me when I was a kid it's because it's a caustic substance, you know. But so is Tabasco sauce. But at any rate, I go to Walmart and I ask them if they have some cinnamon oil. And they immediately say, what do you want it for? And, you know, it just shakes me up. And I immediate thought was, none of your damn business. I mean, do you have it or not? But I say, you know, I want to dip some toothpicks in it. It's kind of an aid to keep me from stop smoking. And the pharmacist, for some reason, just made me feel real. I'm going to burp yet. The pharmacist made me feel real dirty. You know, like I was asking for heroin or something. I would have been less intimidated if I had gone up to the counter and asked for a big box 48 count of supersized condoms, French tickler kind, with spikes down the side, made out of leather, you know. But all I wanted was cinnamon oil. And after I get this kind of runaround and questioning and third degree and anything, she finally says, "Oh, well, we don't sell that stuff anymore." And okay, well, why didn't you say that in the first place? So I go from store to store trying to find cinnamon oil. I go to all kinds of stores trying to find cinnamon toothpicks. Nothing, can't find anything. Finally go to a health store. You know, ask them if they have some cinnamon oil. And it says, "Oh, no, we used to. We've had several people come in and ask for it today." And I'm sitting there going, "Geez, what is this? Is this some kind of addictive substance? And, you know, why is this so hard to find?" But I did find something in that store that I found cinnamon sticks. Actually, they're Australian chewing sticks. Which kind of makes me wonder about the dietary stuff of Aussies. I might have to ask Jace about that. But tea tree Australian cinnamon chewing sticks. So I bought them. Yeah, I think there's probably about 100 of these little suckers in a pack. $4. I mean, I used to buy these things for a dime when I was a kid. $4. But you know what? It's still cheaper than a pack of cigarettes. And, ooh, they do got a little zip to them, too. So, I'm using these. These really, really help me to avoid the urge of smoking. Like I says, I have to wear the cinnamon patch just so I won't bite anybody's head off at work. Also, the patch helps with another thing, is because I can't smoke a cigarette within about 10 hours of having a patch on me without feeling very sick. So when I go through the day and I have the urge to smoke, I kind of have that, well, I can't smoke. I have this damn patch on. Even if I took it off now, it'd be 8 or 10 hours. Ooh, yummy. It'd be 8 or 10 hours before I could take it off. And, you know, that would make me very tired of going through that all day, because, you know, 20 or 30 times a day having this intense craving to put a cigarette in my mouth. Now I got these. And boy, your lips get to burning, and takes away all that urge for smoking. Well, anyway, I'm trying to get my nicotine addiction under control so I can exercise. I can't exercise and smoke at the same time. I just can't do it. But I'm trying to get this smoking under control. Once I got that, I go back into exercising intensely and trying to do something with getting fit again. Since it's in August, we ought to be kind of coming up close to when we had a little contest, a little $100 contest. I should be winding down to the end, although I haven't really heard anybody doing anything about it. I still got my $100. There's no way I'm going to win it, because I'm just as fat as I was when I started. But, you know, I promised I would do it. I guess I ought to go on YouTube and see if anybody else is even remembers it. But thought I would make a video, talk about these little Australian chewing sticks, and see if I can quit smoking for the next week. And if I can, see if I can get myself back into the gym. Till then, everybody take care. Bye-bye.